Right, thank you. Good morning. Deputy Prime Minister, Minister, MPs, Parliamentary Secretary, Senators, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Council, Mr. Kemp, my good friend. I think I used to represent you all at one time, right? Right, I used to represent everybody. It's like when I was hearing the speaker before me speak, and he started off saying that the PLP was the great-grandmother. I said to one of the reporters, I said, you know, back in '58, everybody was PLP. So things bring about changes. And one of the changes, of course, was last year when I stood up at the podium. I think they were here. It was just after the general election. And it was me and two people. But this year I brought all my troops. But I do want to say, there's nothing I can add. There's a dialogue going on between two giants this morning. So when the elephants fight, the ants stay on the side. I'm not getting to that. I only going to stick around to hear what the answer is. And then I'll have my say. We have a meeting down the road, so anybody wants to hear what I have to say can come down the road at the headquarters there. I also, though, want to say that let us not forget that this holiday is put down to the fact that some people took up arms against a sea of troubles on the 1st of June and 2nd of June, 1942. And Randall Fox, when he moved the motion in 1961 to create this holiday, remembered that he was a 13-year-old boy in Western Junior School when the riots took place in Bay Street. And he decided that this day would memorialize the sacrifice those people made in 1942. And that's why we're here today. Secondly, the reason why there was a problem in 1942 was a difference between wages paid to Americans at one level and Bahamians at another level. So we have a whole history of one set of people being paid one set of things and Bahamians being paid another. The struggle continues today. The last point I want to make. I hear people, today is Labor Day, and Randall Fox, you know, he was charged with sedition because he went before Max Thompson as magistrate and he promised that he wouldn't go out and say anything when he left about the magistrate. Of course, there was a meeting, I believe it was a PLP meeting that night on the Southern Recreation Grounds. And as soon as he got the microphone, he said that the magistrate spoke with the lips of Esau and the voice of Jacob. So they locked him up for sedition. But Randall Fox fought 60 years ago, 1958, for us to be able to say what we want to say, where we want to say it. So don't come, you know, I hate to hear people saying, now, I'm not making any personal remarks, or this ain't me speaking, I only saying what people tell me, man. This is a free country. Nobody can do you nothing. Just get up and say whatever you want to say, man. And, you know, particularly me, man. I'm 64 now. I don't care. You know, whatever I feel like saying, I say. You know, now who doesn't like that? Too bad. And I'm big enough to take whatever you say back. No problem. Once you ain't firing bullets and throwing punches, no problem. Words I can deal with, and I'm a man of words. Okay, I hope you enjoy Labor Day. The point you made about the PLP and the judgment, I gotta confess that we've been trying to get our lawyers to understand why the unions are as upset as they are about the judgment, because on the face of it, the judgment does not seem to say what they're saying it says. So we're gonna be holding a meeting shortly with the labor leaders in Nassau to try and understand what their point of view is. I've listened to what was said here today about the perspective on the judgment. That makes it a bit more clear. And so I'm going to take that back to my colleagues so that we can take a defined position on it. But thank you. Brother Morley, good to see you, man. Last time when we were in the market, you wouldn't see about freedom of speech? We were doing a tour of the market. Mr. Morley shows up. Morley says, get your... Where you all come from, you know? Get your so-and-so out of here, man. When I reached the market this morning, he said, boy, good to see you, man. Anyway, that's life. Thank you very much. Enjoy the day.